draw the ink into these areas that are etched. The background of the plate's not etched, so you can wipe it clean. Or you can leave a film of ink on it if you want it to have more of a coloration. And you have to go right up to the edge. Even the plate that's not, part of the plate that's not etched needs to be covered. Okay. So you have a consistency. Oh. And I put on my ink very thinly. I don't waste a lot of ink. So that amount of ink over there would probably last about 30 plates for me.
Yeah, I can see that it's not a lot.
But some people, when they start out, this is so thick, and then when they tarlatan, all the ink goes off.
Well, so the plate, the duck,
what's the tarlatan?
I'll show you that.
You have your plate, you can reuse it.
Years later.
Yeah.
Or there's a time.
So the heat of the plate makes this process
a little bit easier
because I can see where it might be colder on the edges. It might be harder for you to.
Yeah, but the plate's evenly, and copper, you know, heats quickly, and it conducts heat, so it's an advantage over some other metals, and it's malleable. You know, you can burnish out areas that you don't want that were etched. In fact, I did that on the first plate. If you look, there are 3 prints over there. The first plate, and then I burnished out and I printed it again. So you can see the difference of what it was once I spit by on it and then burnished it out.
So you worked it into it. Did you have to wipe off the excess?
Yep.
You're ahead of you, sorry.
Ahead of me. You're pushing me.
Well, otherwise I was thinking that, you know, that all your gestural elements, that's all going to print, so.
This is cheesecloth. This is what we call a tarlatan. Okay? And you can get different grades. The grade determines the openness or closedness. Some of them are pretty stiff, so it depends on what you're rubbing. We like these that are a little bit softer. So I'm looking for a place that doesn't have much ink, and then what you have to do is roll this up in a tight, as tight as you can get it, ball. So you keep turning it into itself. Okay? And then you have to hold it. So you can tell if it's tight, you know, if you go like that, it's tight. So the next, I'm ambidextrous. I usually do any hand, but anyway. The next step then is to help rub this into the etched area and get off some of the excess. So again, circular motions, you don't have to put pressure at all. You just need to circular motions all over the plate, even on the other areas that don't have the etched part. The other thing is you don't rub it all off. You don't want to take away from the ink that's in the etched areas, but you just get the excess off, because the next step after this is hand wiping the plate to get it ready for printing. And as I say, again, I don't put a lot of excess ink on, and so when I do the tarlatan, I get a lot of the extra off, and for me it makes it a lot easier to wipe. But you can run the risk of taking off too much ink.
So you run this through as many times as you're going to come.
Okay, now this is the part of your hand you use to wipe. You don't wipe flat, you wipe with just this part. So the rounded part of the heel in here, and I start and I wipe in one direction, and I use this to continue with my hand to wipe as much off as I can. So I just keep wiping and turning the plate as I wipe. And you see these streaks, that means there's too much ink here, so I want to get it to a manageable level. And you just keep wiping, and sometimes I wipe here.
Get that gradation with color.
So you don't want streaks like that. You want it to look like it's clean.
Yellow is another block. There's black, this block that is on top. So clean block. That sets it off.
The line.
So you must have three different pots.
But I mean, how do you get the gradation? Is that how you apply the ink on the?
That's how you put it.